Welcome back, everybody, to another edition of Cafecito and Canes. Big week this week in recruiting. Miami last night adds another building block to the Great Wall of Mirabal. Blue chip, four-star recruit, according to the composite, Max Buchanan out of Seminole County, Florida, has committed to the University of Miami. He is standing at 6'4", 279 pounds, according to On3. Of course, no matter where you look, you're going to get a different weight, maybe a slightly different height, but he hovers right around 6'4", 275, 280, depending on where you look. This young man, first thing I thought of when I looked at his tape, he reminds me a lot of Casey McDermott, just his build, the way he plays, the way I think he plays tackle at the high school level, but I think he will eventually kick inside the guard. And, he has the skill to play both. They're going to cross-train him. If you're playing offensive line on the Miami Hurricanes, you will be cross-trained. You will be taught every position. So I think this was a nice piece, a nice pickup that I know the coaching staff really wanted. And I trust this staff. I trust their evaluations with any player, but especially offensive line. And, of course, offensive line, very developmental position group. It's the position group I care about star ratings the least. I've said that many times before. I trust the development of Coach Mirabal and Cristobal with that group. So bringing in Max Buchanan is a nice addition. And so far, that brings us to 12 commits in the class right now. The highest ones, the blue chippers, according to On3's composite, of course, being Gerard Pringle, very talented, speedy running back. Elijah Melendez, freak athlete, blue chip linebacker. For some reason, according to 247, he's still a 3-star, but everybody else has him rated as a top 200 player pretty much across the board. Brock Schott, very talented tight end. Amari Wallace, we just got him last week. Playmaker, local kid, was the first local kid, which surprised me. I guess we're taking more of a, get those, cherry pick those out of state or Northern Florida guys or Central Florida guys, and then zero in on the local kids as we get closer to the season, because a lot of them are going to be holding off their announcement until then, which is fine. I think we're going to impress some people on the field, so that's fine with me. You got, of course, Luca Gilbert, Max Buchanan, Luke Nickel, who earned his 4th star on a lot of rating sites. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Pretty much everybody after that is a developmental 3-star guy, but definitely a lot of upside with those guys. Now, in the offensive line, so far, we've gotten Jaden Wilkerson, 6'5.5", 330. We got TK Mo, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but TK, 6'5", 315. Demetrius Campbell, you got him at 6'6", 300 pounds from Orlando, Florida. And now you're adding a 4th guy in Max Buchanan, who coincidentally is actually, even though he's the highest rated, he's the smallest of the group, but I think he's going to fit in nicely on the interior of this line. But it's cool to see now what, going into year 3, you kind of see the plan and what Coach Mirabal wants to continue doing and just kind of build this factory on the offensive line. Because, yes, going to year 2, couple portal guys, you had to patch up some holes. You had to bring in Matt Lee. You had to bring in Javion Cohen. Both guys panned out. Both guys stayed healthy throughout the season, so that was massive. But now you're seeing it built through the high school ranks. You're going to see very little to, hopefully, I don't know if it's going to be none in this era of college football. I don't know if it's going to be no requirement of transfer portal moving forward, but you see how it's being built. By next year, I could see us having pretty much an offensive line of no transfer portal guys, or very, very little. And if you look across the board, everybody's 6'5", 6'6". Everybody's 310, 320 pounds plus. Love that. So the size has improved dramatically since not just year 1 with this squad, but before this regime. Randy Shannon, Al Golden, even Mark Rick's tenure to a degree, and then Manny Diaz. Lack of size, lack of strength up front. just seem to always be an issue. We seem to always get pushed around in big games. No longer. I don't think that's going to be the case anymore. So Max Buchanan, welcome to the U. Welcome to the family. This is yet another building block to an offensive line and a running game and a culture that I really like the way that we're building it. Kid plays with a mean streak, tough as nails. Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to seeing him come in and seeing his development. But as for other news, I know some other big blue chippers are making their announcements soon. July is usually, July 4th weekend tends to be a big recruiting weekend as far as announcing commits. And this was around the time last year that the blue chippers started trickling in. So I expect no different this year, but a lot of it's going to come down to the season. I think the absolute floor for the performance this season, you got to at least win 9 games to keep this recruiting train moving and bring in another top 10, top 5 class. You win double digits, you're impressive against the in-state rivals, Florida State, and you pretty much lock up a top 5 class. So anyways, that's just my thoughts on that. But if you have not done so already, please go hit the like button, share this video, go subscribe. And I will be back on as new, recruiting news goes coming in. It could be, it's unpredictable. It could be today, it could be tomorrow, next week. We'll see, but I'll be on top of it. But until then, have a great night, everybody. Go Canes.